Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I just wanted to talk about some immigration policies that Trump administration has rolled out in the past few weeks that has, rocked all of our lives. So I just wanted to talk about them, two major ones, and then just share my opinions on them and what I think is going on and why these policies are being made. Before we get into this video, don't forget to subscribe. I'm begging you, I'm begging you, please. Subscribe. Don't just watch this video and not subscribe. Subscribe. It's definitely worth it. I have lots of awesome content on this channel, and you want to be a part of this family. You really want to join this family because you're gonna learn so much. I mean, duh, it's a no-brainer. Okay, so definitely subscribe, like this video, comment down below, share this video if you find it helpful or informative, and let's get right in. I'm going to be talking about two major policies that Trump has rolled out in the past couple of weeks that really caused an uproar and made people panic and all of that. So the first one was the H1b ban, and the second one was the policy that ICE came up with last week. That, well, they didn't come up with it, but they removed the temporary ban on international students being able to take full online course load during this pandemic. So those two policies really caused an uproar. People were upset, people were panicking, people were trying to figure out what's going on and how it affects them and all of that. First of all, for the H1b, it really affects people who are outside of the US. So if let's say you got an offer of employment in the US, but you haven't gotten your visa prior to June 24th, 2020, you would be affected by that ban. But if you've already gotten your visa before June 24th of 2020, that means you're good, you can still come, right? But people who already got their employment offer but didn't get their visa issued before the order went into effect, essentially stopped from being from coming to the US to work. Students in the US, international students in the US, are not affected by this ban because H1b processed in the US is more so a change of status than issuing of a new visa. So because it's not issuing a new visa, that you're changing your status, you're good. So you can still get H1b and work in the US. People on H1b already who are in the US, they're good, you're Gucci, you don't have to worry about it. But regardless, a lot of people were still affected by this ban, especially companies that may have already sent out employment offers and trying to see how they can process visas for people they already employed overseas to come to the US to work. So a lot of companies and people were affected by this. Moving on, the visa categories, it's not only H1b that was affected by this ban, right? Visa categories that were affected were H1b, H2b, H4, L and J visas. So essentially these work categories, Trump felt like these categories were a risk to the US labor market, and so essentially he's like, I'm going to put American workers first, and I'm going to stop the issuing of these visas at least until the pandemic is over. So essentially from now until December 31st 2020. Yes, those were the visa categories that were affected. So like I said, Trump made this ban or this policy or gave this order because he felt like they were risk to the US labor market. And when the pandemic hit, a lot of US workers lost their jobs, about in the number of more than 17 million. So a lot of people lost their jobs, right? Trump ran on the premise that he's putting the American people first. He's putting the American workers first. So he feels like this step will, help American citizens get jobs first before foreigners. But essentially, in my opinion, I feel like this ban, if it's extended beyond December 31st, is really going to hurt the US economy because foreigners bring in billions. When I say billions, I'm not talking millions, I'm talking billions of dollars into the US economy every year. So they bring in jobs, the money into the US economy every year. So essentially they're a good thing for the US economy. They ensure diversity, and it's foreigners really that made a lot of tech companies what they are today. In a lot of US tech companies, it's foreigners that really made them what they are. So foreigners do contribute a lot to the US economy, but however, I do understand where Trump is coming from, because that's the grounds he ran on. And besides, elections are coming up, Trump is running again, so he's just trying to capitalize on this little pandemic period we have, so that he can be like, oh, American people, see what I did for you people, don't forget me when the elections come. So it's all a game, everything just all a game. Essentially, I think it's just a play to ensure that people vote for him during the upcoming elections. Because let's be honest, even if you stop H1b, companies can still outsource their jobs outside of the US. They can outsource their jobs. They don't even have to bring the people over to the US. They can employ them in whatever country they are in, and they can work from there, and they'll probably pay them less, or maybe the exchange rate is not as strong, and however much equivalent is it is here, it's probably cheaper over there, something like that. So essentially, tech companies can find their way around it. It doesn't exactly put American workers first, if that makes sense. Because let's be honest, the amount of American citizens in STEM is, I guess you can say, it's not enough to meet the labor needs, the technical needs that America has right now. And to train American citizens in that field, and get them to meet those needs, it's gonna take a while. It's already in the process, but it's gonna take a while to get to what the labor market needs. So it's a good move putting Americans first, but essentially it's still gonna take a while, for all of this to really have a significant positive impact. But yeah, America is gonna be losing a lot of money by reducing the amount of foreigners that can come into this country, if that makes sense. Yeah. Then for the ICE policy about the online ban, well, not an online ban, it's more like they removed the temporary ban allowing students to take online classes, allowing them to take more online classes than they're normally allowed to. Normally, you're not allowed to take more than, I think it's 3 credit hours worth of online classes. I believe so, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's what the rule was before the pandemic. But when the pandemic hit, they allowed international students to take more online classes, because most schools were transferring to online. Schools had to close, right? So they had to allow international students to take classes online. Then this July 6th or 7th, July 6th, they put out a policy saying, oh, the temporary exemption has been removed, and we have to revert to how things were before. And starting in the fall, any student whose school is going fully online either has to transfer to a school with in-person instruction, or they have to leave the country. Ridiculous, right? So a lot of students were really upset about this. There was an uproar, people were panicking, people were reaching out to the international advisors. Oh, what's going on? How will this affect me? What should I do? All of those things, and people were just in panic mode. Harvard and MIT, the big schools that have a large international student population, they're not about to lose all that money. No, they're not about to lose all that money. So they they sued the government, and they fought this whole new policy, because we're in unprecedented times. We are in a pandemic, and you cannot be risking the lives of students who came here legally, who pay money, a lot of money at that, for education. You cannot be risking their lives because you have the power to. It doesn't make sense, right? It can be seen as an abuse of power, and I think that's what the schools that sued kind of went on. So MIT, Harvard, they filed a lawsuit against the government. And then just yesterday, a judge in Massachusetts, I think, wrote that the government is going to rescind I think it came to an agreement or something, but essentially the government agreed to rescind the rule that they placed that international students have to either take in-person class, or they have to transfer or leave the country. MIT and the other schools that and Harvard and all of the other schools that joined in the lawsuit, they won. And international students don't have to leave the country. They don't have to transfer to an in-person to a school with in-person instruction. And essentially, to me, it didn't make sense, because why would you be risking the lives of students who came to come and study JJly? Why would you be interrupting their education and risking their lives in during this time? I feel like it was all a move also towards the upcoming elections. I feel like it was also a move pertaining to the upcoming elections. I feel like it was a way to force the economy open again. But then the numbers are rising. If the numbers are not rising, again, we can understand. But the numbers are rising, and risking the lives of people, essentially risking the lives of international students, also risk the life of Americans, because we're all in this country. It's all everybody, you all joined together, all mixed together. So I didn't think it made sense to want to risk the life of international students. It was in our minds, it felt like, you're saying this pandemic is our fault. But no, it's not our fault. Nobody planned for this. Nobody expected this to happen. So unprecedented times call for unprecedented measures, aka online classes should be allowed. So essentially, international students we don't have to worry about traveling back to their countries. And besides, borders are closed. So how do you expect people to travel back home? It all didn't make sense. It was just ridiculous when I heard it. And I'm glad that everything eventually worked out, and students don't have to worry about traveling back home or transferring to another school if their school is going fully online, and all the whole nine. So those are my thoughts. I just wanted to come on here and talk about them, because it's just been on my mind for a couple of weeks now, and I'm like, I want to talk about this. But those are my thoughts. And I don't know if you have any comments, if you have anything you want to add, or anything you want to say, or just put it down in the comment section below. I'll be reading all the comments. And so thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe. I know if you watched to this point, that means you like the video and you like listening to me talk. So just hit the subscribe button down below. Also, while you're there, just hit the notification bell beside it, so that you can get notified when I post my videos. And also, don't forget to like this video, comment down below, share this video with friends and families. And I will see you guys in my next one. Have a good one. Deuces.